All right, so the first thing we do is we add the tracks on the screen. So the tracks that you see here, the first thing we do is add the tracks. So write down first thing, adding tracks. All right, does everyone know how to get to this screen? You click on create. Okay, you'll come to this screen. Look at the videos for the new guys. You'll know how to get till here. Yeah. And the first thing you do is click on the green line. Take notes first. Okay, I'll give you time to practice this. Take notes. Click on the green line and move the text there. And click on cancel first for the text. And then click on this box here and move your text in the middle of the screen, somewhere here. So click on cancel and move the text in the middle of the screen here, because the first track will be in the middle. Click on the tick. It'll take you back to the oh, it's not working. Okay, once you come back, go inside the text. And in here, go to when game starts. Can anybody tell me where it is? It is inside games. So take game starts and move it here. Okay, then click inside it. And in here, you go to drawing. And in here, you move draw a trail. Okay, for my game, I'll make the width 150, but you can be creative and do what you want, okay? I'll make it 150 for the width. When you're practicing, you can check what happens when you change the numbers. It will increase or decrease the track length. And in the color here, you go down and click on random. This will produce random colors for your tracks when you refresh it. Is that making sense? We're making the track. This will create random colors for your track. This is the width of the track. And go inside it. What do you want the track to do? We want the track to come down like we saw. How do you make something come down? From last class. Very good. You go to change Y by, because Y is the vertical axis. Move change Y by here. And to bring something down, what do you do? Negative. Make a note. To bring something down, you put a negative number. I'm going to put negative 1100, but you can experiment and see what happens. If it doesn't work, try this number and save. All right, we did this much. Now let's see what happens to our game. If you click on this, you're able to see your games as you progress. So click on the play button and see what happens. Look at that, the track is ready, the first track. Make sense? So now our aim is to add 2 more tracks, one to the left and one to the right. Okay, so again, click inside it. Now, did we learn making new blocks? Did we learn that at all, making new blocks? No, so write down, if something you want to repeat in your game, you can make it as a block. So let's make a new block here and call this lanes. This is called the ability of the games, where you create the block and save. So now if you look on the left, there is a block called as lanes. All you have to do is bring it up here and move these guys in here. Let's see if it works. Right, so the making of the track is inside the block called as lanes. So every time you want to repeat something, all you have to do is bring the block lanes and it will automatically make the lane for you. Does that make sense? Okay, so now let's make another track the same way. Bring your text, do cancel, go to the game and move your text 2 blocks away, because that's the width of the, but you can experiment this when you play. Bring the text around 2 blocks away and make it all the way to the top, so that and click OK. What should I do next? Inside the second text, what should I do? What did we do earlier? Very good. Go to games and say, when the game starts, and what do I put inside here? Do we need to do the steps again? We can just bring you can just drag the lanes here. So this will repeat what we did before. And save and check it out. So hopefully we should have 2 lanes now, if it works. Let me close the other pages. Okay, it's a bit slow. Anyways, it will work. Let's do one more. Third lane. Bring another text. Cancel. Repeat the steps basically. Go here and move this over here somewhere. Tick. Same thing. We're doing the same thing. In here, what do I select? Game starts, and inside here we do lanes. So now we have 3 tracks. Let's hopefully check it now. This is disappointing. Anyways, we'll check it at the end. When I stop recording, maybe it'll work. Any questions so far? What we did on the screen? We made 3 separate lanes for running. Our next thing we do is pick a character that's going to run. So write down next step to pick a character. Take notes, yeah? Pick a character. Which character should we pick? You have to pick the characters from here. Anyone? Any preferences? Yep. Octopus? Where is it? Here. So pick an octopus as your player. Now what we want to do is we want to make the octopus run. So when somebody is running, they have to shake a little bit. So the next step is to make the octopus feel like it is running. So it should shake a little bit. So write down how to make a character shake. So the first thing you do is, what should I do the first thing? The character needs to keep running all the time. So what should I select? When game starts, because it needs to happen all the time. Right? Then inside here, right, this is how you make somebody feel like they're running. You start with turn. And in here, you can experiment with these numbers. I'll put 10. Save. All right, the next thing you do is, let me see if you see. All right, next thing you do is you wait. So they will turn to the right, wait, and then turn to the left. So it will seem like they are running. All right, the next thing, this will turn right. So the next thing we want to do is turn left. How do we turn in the opposite direction? If one is positive, the other one is? So make this -10. Save. And then again, wait for a second. And then go to your game and move the character in the middle here. And make it a little bit smaller. And take. Now let's see what happens. Let's wait a second to see if it loads. Let me save and exit and then come back. It did not save it. We lost it. Oh, here it is. Is it this one? No. All right, let me log off and come back and see, yeah? Something's wrong. Weird, it did not save. But okay, this is the idea of the game. What we did so far was added 3 tracks and added the player. And the running will look like this. It look like she's running. That's what it'll look like. Yeah, like she's moving. Well, let's do the rest. Let's start another one. Well, let's do the octopus. Let's just do the running bit. Game starts. Turn. Then you wait. Then you turn in the opposite direction. And then you wait again. Let's see what happens. All right, let's see hopefully now. Oh, look at that. Right, they moved a little bit if you see. That will look like they're running. Now this happened only once. What if I want to repeat it forever? You go here and you select repeat for. So bring repeat forever here and move all 4 of them in here. Just make a note, this block will make it feel like the character is running. Make sense? So let's check here. So look at that. The character is moving. It will seem like they are running. Okay, next thing, now add the controls. Next step is to add the controls. Click on the left control. The character should move to the left lane. If you press right, it should move to the right lane. So let's add the characters for, let's add the buttons. Left button. Let's call this left. And let's call this go to your game and move the buttons in the corner. This is your left button. This is your Is that clear what we did here? We added the buttons for left and right. Now this is what I want you to do. If I click on the left button, the character should move to the left. How do we do that? Somebody help me out here. Yeah, well done. But where do I go first?
Go to octopus.
Go back to the octopus.
And say when is tapped.
And then you go when is tapped. Very good. This one here, when is tapped. In this box here, select the octopus. No. In this box, select the left button, because when you tap left, the octopus should move to the. So inside here, you say change X by. If you want to move to the left, should you put negative or positive? So now I'm going to put negative 150, but you can play around to see what happens. If not, put this number. So put negative 150, and let's see what happens. If I click on play, if I click this button, this guy should move to the left. So let's see. Right, pretty cool. It moves to the left. Right, so similarly, you have to do is tapped for the right button, and you say change X by how much? If it was negative 150 there, over here it should be positive 150. Save. And let's check. So if I press this button, this guy goes to the left. If I press this button, this guy goes to the right. Make sense so far? Okay, now for the next thing, I'll need the tracks. So let me quickly make the tracks again. Just bear with me 2 minutes. What do we do for the tracks? When game starts. And then? Draw a trail, very good. In here we said 150. In here we said random. Did we do anything in there? Very good. In there we said change Y by negative 1100. Save, go here, and move your text somewhere in the middle there, and this guy over here. Okay, create a new block, call it lanes. The lanes here, and move this guy inside the lanes. Right, we're repeating the same steps because we lost them. Right, so just look here and see what happens now. So look at this. Now this guy is running in the lane. Yeah. Now if it goes to the left, then it will go to the right. Right, pretty cool. Let's do more. Let me add 2 more lanes. So lanes cancel when game starts, and lanes. Go here and move the lanes next to the. I'm just repeating the steps, okay, because we lost it. Nothing new here. All right, add 1 more lane. When game starts. Lanes, right? Let's hope now. And move the third guy, say 2 blocks away. All right, fingers crossed. Let's check. All right, pretty cool. Look at that. Now, if I press this, it goes into the. Does that make sense? Right now, what is the error here? Now tell me what is the error here. Somebody think about it. What could be an error here? If I go to the left, and if I again go to the left, it's going outside of the game. This is called a bug in the game. Make a note. This is called a bug in the game. And does anybody know the word to fix a bug? Very good. It's called debugging. Very important word, debugging. Solving the bug in the problem. Let's close this for now. Okay, now the next part is very important. It will be called conditional statements. And there are 3 types of conditional statements that we will learn in the class. The first one will be check once if. The first one is called check once if. The second one will be if. And the third one will be if else. Okay, so the condition is that if this guy is over here, then it should not move on the left anymore. He's allowed to move on the right, but he cannot move to the left. So we say if this guy's position is in the third one, you won't let him allow to the left anymore. So let's see how to do that. You go inside the left button and you scroll down and go to controls. And you say check once if. This is a little bit difficult, so take notes. And in here you pick greater than. Should I do it again? You say check once if, and in here you pick greater than. You scroll down and you click on the X position. Write this down, you'll get time to practice. You say X position of whom? So you say of the player, which is the octopus. So if say this is bigger than, I'm going to pick 500 because I've tested the game, but you can do trial and error here to check which number works. I know it's 500, but when you are making your own game, you'll have to check what number is working and save it. And in here, you move this guy in here. Take notes. When you practice, you'll understand better. Let's see what happens now. All right, what is the error here? Look at the game. What is the error here? Where is the third lane? Yeah. The color is white, okay, of the lane. So there's a possibility that the third lane is white, so you can't see it. In that case, just press refresh. And you'll get a new lane. So now see what happens. If I go to the left, it's allowing. If I press one more time, it's not allowing. Because this position is 500. And it's already bigger than 500, so it's not allowing me to go to the left anymore. All right, so help me out here. What should I do for the right tapped? I want to do the same thing. If it's on the rightmost lane, it cannot go to the right anymore. All right, help me out. What should I do? Very good. Check once if again. Now, in that case, we pick bigger than. In this case, we pick less than because it needs to be on the right-hand side. But in here, what do I select? So you scroll down and say the X position of whom? The player. All right, I know this number is 700, but you can play around to see what happens. And save. And move this guy in here. So drag the X by 150 in here. All right, let's see what happens. If I scroll to the left, we are okay. If I scroll to the right, it's okay. Right. And one more right, it does not work anymore. Is that making any sense on what's going on? All right, one last thing. What do you think is left? The obstacle. So the last step to add the obstacles in the game. It's a little bit difficult. Take notes. How to add obstacles. Right. Tell me who should be an obstacle here. Pick a character. Bear. Jody. Let's make a space pod as your obstacle. Go in here and adjust the space pod and just adjust the size a little bit. Same as the characters. So this guy is your obstacle. So now here's a question. Where do you want the obstacle to always start? On the top of the screen or the bottom of the screen? The obstacle always needs to come with the lanes. So the first thing you have to do is for the obstacle, you have to set the position. So it looks like it's coming on the road. So go to the rules and select when game starts. Well, let's see, let's do set position. Is that in here? When game starts, and inside it, set position. Very important. Okay, a little bit difficult. Set position. It will ask you the X position and the Y position. How will we make it start on top of the screen always? The Y position needs to be on the top of the screen. So what does it need to be? At the bottom, it's negative 1100. So on the top, it has to be positive 1100. And now this is the difficult part. Let's see, why is it difficult? Let me show you the actual game. So now this is the actual game. If you look, one sec. If you look, the monkey is showing up randomly in different places. So the X position needs to be random. Make a note. The X position is not fixed, it needs to be random. And this is how you make the X position random. In here, first select addition. Now we want it to start somewhere, so make it, so I know this number is 450, but you can play around to see what happens. Put 450 in the first one. And in the second one, pick multiply. This is a bit complicated, but you'll understand when we run the game. Okay, what was the width of the track? So in the second one, put the width of the track. So whatever width you're picking for your game, put that in the second one. And in the third one, pick random. And I'll tell you what does it do. In the first one, pick 0. In the second one, pick 2. Just write this code down. This is what you need to make somebody appear at different places randomly. So the random 0 to 2 means either in the first zeroth lane, first lane, or the second lane. And move by a distance of 150. And start at 450. Wait, listen. Start at 450. Move by a distance of 150 in the 0th lane, first lane, or the second lane. That's what this means. All right, let's see if anything happens here. Nothing. All right, so let's see. Do one more thing, say change y by. And make the guy come down, so do negative 1100. So this will make it appear randomly, this will make it come down the screen. Let's see, look at that. Right? Now all we have to do is repeat this thing forever. So go back here, repeat forever, and move these two guys in here. Little bit difficult, okay, but when you practice, you'll see. So let's see if it works. So look at that. It's randomly appearing everywhere. Now the speed is a little bit faster, so you can make it slower. How do you make the speed slower of the guy? You go back on top of repeat forever and you set the speed. So set speed. Let's make it to 300, but you can play around. So now hopefully it's slower. Look at that. Right, a bit slower. Any questions so far? Is it a bit difficult or is it okay? Yeah, when you practice, we'll see if you can do it. One last thing left. What is the last thing left? Can anybody help me out? What is the last thing left? When this guy hits the obstacle, it needs to disappear. How do we do that from last class? Somebody help me. Go back to the octopus. What do I select? When the octopus hits the space pod, it needs to disappear. Somebody help me out. Where do we go? You need to go to bumps. Make a note, need to go to bumps. All right, now what bumps to what? What should be the first one here? So you say when the octopus bumps the space pod, yeah, you can destroy it or you can make it a bit funny. You can say jump and then destroy or something. Set invisibility to 100. I'll write this down for the people who are new. You go to bumps, jump and set invisibility. So now let's see what happens. But if I hit that guy, I need to die. Look at that. Yeah, pretty cool. What if you want to display a message? How do you do that? Go here and which one is for the message? Show pop-up, right? Last time, show pop-up. Let's call it you lose. So now look at that. And look at that. It dies and it says you lose. Let me stop recording.